Today's theme is anxiety and stress in human life, a cardiologist's view of mental health. So, we are privileged to have Dr. Narayan Gadkar, a distinguished speaker, author, and a renowned cardiologist. So, as a mental health professionals, we understand the profound impact of mind's workings on overall health. This talk provides an opportunity to expand our understanding and see connections between mind, body, and society from a fresh perspective. So, after this presentation, there will be an interactive segment where we can ask the questions to our esteemed speaker and we can engage in discussion. I request all the participants undivided attention for the next 40 minutes. So, the intention of this talk is not to challenge any personal beliefs, but to help us reflect on our thinking patterns and improve our own practice both personally as well as professionally. Now, I request Dr. N. Manjunatha, Additional Professor of Psychiatry, to kindly introduce our distinguished speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. Really welcome Dr. Narayan Gadkar for today's his talk, and I believe that we will learn something new. Even though I am a practicing psychiatrist for last 24 years, and I strongly believe psychiatry is very small part of mental health. And if we go into say scientific literature, there are more than 50 definitions of mental health, and there are a core component of mental health. And we sometimes I get doubt what is psychiatry, what is mental health. Psychiatry more or less I am aware, but mental health there is a lot of confusion. So everybody has their own definition of mental health. In that way, Dr. Narayan Gadkar, who has done MBBS, MD, and DM cardiology, is practicing interventional cardiologist, Zen Hospital, Mumbai. Narayan Gadkar has authored the book, The Conscious Customer, My Choice to be Life Intelligent. This is the book. And based on human mind and intellect, in his book, he successfully decoded the cause for constant human anxiety and stress. Also provided the solution on how to prevent and overcome it. Dr. Gadkar also conducts regular seminar on how to live a stress-free and a happy life. His seminars and book has helped a lot of people in their journey and towards the experience a stress-free life. And I would like to disclose that conflict of interest. Neither me, my colleagues, or Nimans has commercial interest on these books. We are very interested in the content of the book, which we think we let people know about the content of the paper, understand it. And if you are convinced about it, and you can give your comment at the end of the seminar.
First of all, thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak. I feel honored. And my talk is based on the book which I have written. So I thank everybody who has contributed, because one mind cannot think. It is all my experience of my 45 years on living on this planet. I came to a conclusion based on observing people, history and all, and I concluded certain things. And this, when I'm speaking, it can hurt your existing beliefs and feelings in the course of my talk. I am apologizing in advance for that. But the intention of my talk is purely to make everybody's life peaceful, because I have firmly believe that in today's time, as human beings, we are best placed to live a healthy and happy life. For unfortunately, in my day-to-day practice and everywhere, I see a lot of stress and suffering. But in the end of my talk, I feel that you will be convinced that human life is really fantastic. And though my talk is on general human behavior, I will always feel that when the audience is listening to my talk, they will always be exceptions to my conclusions, because it is individual perception. And my single talk cannot encompass the entire humans on the planet. But 90 to 95% of humans will be included in my observation. And I only request that you give your undivided attention for the next 40 minutes. So when I'm talking to you, see, our mind is everything. See, our physical body is like a carrier, and our mind is like, I call our body is like a vehicle, and your mind is like the driver. So your mind is a representative of everything in the body, and all the choices in life, decisions in life are made by your mind. So it is very important to understand mind. And see, with the health, this thing, pandemic of physical and mental health, which we humans are suffering, it is very important once we understand our mind. So when we talk about mind, see, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to your mind. Rest of the body is working. Your heart is working, liver is working, kidney is working. But my interaction with you is basically with your mind. So, and you, as humans, we all feel that we are intelligent as compared to animals like donkey and all. We have been told, your spiritual gurus, your scientists, everybody feels that we humans are intelligent as compared to animals. But if you ask a donkey as compared to donkey, what he wants from life is he wants to be contented, happy, and a donkey eats grass and is happy in life. We humans want fitness and happiness. If you ask everybody, everybody would want to be having a stress-free life and a fit life. Physical body wants to be fit, but we don't achieve it. So what is the point of having that intellect which you cannot achieve what you want in life? So how can you call yourself superior to a donkey? See, we will say I am a cardiologist, academically sound, I take care of my family. That's why I am intelligent as compared to a donkey. But if we ask ourselves, did nature give us this mind to become cardiologists? As hunter-gatherers, we were along with the animals in the jungle. There was no cardiology there. There was no concept of family there. So this is all I have taken this responsibility because I took cardiology. Cardiology has become my responsibility. Because I'm married, family has become my responsibility. Nature didn't ask me to get married or do cardiology. Why was mind given to us by nature? So coming to that, the purpose of our mind, this is a very important thing. If you understand this, I am sure many people will be able to find their own solutions in life and they will not need advice from me. Purpose. Why was intellect given to you? See, nature had given your organs of the body to maintain quality of life. Heart was given to pump the blood. And if the heart fails to pump the blood, we will call it as a failed heart and quality of life of a person will be compromised. Similarly, kidney was given to manage the waste material. If the kidney doesn't manage the waste material, quality of life will be compromised and we will call it as a failed kidney. Similarly, for lungs, instead of oxygen, if it starts accumulating carbon dioxide, we will call it a failed lung. So similarly, your mind was given to filter your all these destructive thoughts which are self-destructive and make choices in life so that the physical body is consistently physically fit and your mental health is ensured so that your quality and quantity of life is ensured. Nature had given this mind exclusively for that. And if we fail to do that, though I may be a successful cardiologist, but if I am not physically and mentally fit and physically, mentally happy, I am a failed mind according to nature. World may call me a successful cardiologist, but I will be a failed according to nature because nature had given us our mind for a particular purpose, which I have failed. So going forward, I will explain to you. See, the problem with human beings is nature had not made humans to live in civilized society like Chembur or in Bangalore or Mumbai. Nature had created human beings along with animals to live in the jungles. Nature had given our intellect. Nature had created us along with animals to live in the jungles. So you imagine in the hunter-gatherer era, an intelligent man used to survive and an unintelligent man or a mentally disabled man used to die. He never used to survive because your intelligence was given for survival. Unfortunately, what has happened with human beings, your predecessors have got you from the jungles and migrated it to your civilized society. Your lion, tigers, your elephants are still in the jungle. That's why an intelligent lion, intelligent elephant, intelligent deers, purpose of life has not changed. But since we are migrated from the jungles and we don't suffer, survival, day-to-day survival is not a challenge. That's why our intelligent mind has forgotten that our main job is survival. And once survival is ensured, to have a fit and a healthy mind is to ensure quality of life. Is the second main job. But unfortunately, during current times, majority of the so-called intelligent minds fail to ensure consistent quality and this thing and suffer from anxiety and stress. This is because from birth, our human intellect is manipulated, which I will discuss in future in the slides to come. Our intellect gets manipulated and in trying to become successful in a particular aspect of life, because that is what our minds are manipulated. So I will want to become a successful work professional or a successful parent or a successful partner. We fail to live life successfully. We are not life successful. In becoming successful in an aspect of life, we fail to live life successfully. In other words, we suffer in the process of making our good life better. So now people will say, a beggar on the road will say, Arey, Dr. Gadkar, you are saying good life, but my life is not good. See, I tell people that you should not compare your good life as compared to people around you. You compare yourself to if you had born 150 years back. Imagine being born in a British era or Mughal era. You imagine you would have wanted the life we are living today. So somebody else has sacrificed, your predecessors have sacrificed, given you independent country, and that's why you are born in independent India. So I feel everybody life who are living in a democratic country is living a good life. Not in comparison to others, probably, but in comparisons to at least their predecessors. We have medical facilities, mobile phone, health security, health facilities. Imagine suffering from health disorders 150 years back. So I feel everybody has a basic good life and we want to make our life better. And in the process of making our life better, we suffer. Now, problems with humans is that in being successful in any aspect of life, if you want to be successful in any aspect of life, you need proper guidance, training, and practice. Now, I am a decent cardiologist because a cardiologist has taught me how to become a good cardiologist. And I spent my 15, 20 years in cardiology. That's why I probably is a decent cardiologist. I am a decent parent because my father, who was a decent parent, taught me how to become a good parent. Teacher taught me academics. That's why I am good, probably because good people who had done that successfully taught me how to do it. But unfortunately, you don't have see many life successful people around. And people who are our role models, like our parents, our teachers, our other role models, film celebrities, sports celebrities, religious preachers, they themselves, they don't live a consistently healthy and stress-free life. And if we learn to live life from them, unfortunately, we also will feel that suffering and stress is a normal part of life, and we tend to live life unintelligently, sorry. Similarly, I am telling you, if the highest score was 20 in test cricket and everybody used to score 20 runs, the new batch of people would have felt that 20 is the highest score made. Unless and until you see a Sachin Tendulkar who scores 100, then you realize, you can raise a bar. So first session is over section. Would you want to discuss this or?
See, we have opened up a chart for people to put their questions. Once question comes, we'll keep on asking. Some meanwhile, we have our own questions. Dr. Praveen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So we have a couple of questions for you. My first question is, as a cardiologist, how do you see the mind's core purpose linking with overall heart health in your patients in the clinical practice?
See, basically, though I am a cardiologist, I don't see cardiology or nephrology or cancer specialist as a separate. Will always make you suffer. Stress will always cause you are predisposed to lifestyle disorders like obesity, because stressful people tend to eat more or not exercise, or stressful people will have more likelihood of having hypertension, diabetes. So ultimately, and stress itself can cause heart attacks and all. So I feel that obviously stress will cause more cardiovascular events, but leaving that, even if God tells you that, Gadkar, you suffer a stressful life and I ensure you that you will not suffer an heart attack and your cardiovascular health will be absolutely perfect, still that doesn't justify stress because of two reasons. One is your quality of life is compromised. A stressful mind, quality of life is compromised. One. Second, you may not suffer an heart attack because of your stressful life, because God has ensured you may not die. But your kids, your people around, they suffer from stressful life because they learn from you how to live life. And they may suffer. God has not ensured that they may not suffer an heart attack. So even if you want to die taking stress, probably, see, people will say, "Humko marne ke liye tayar hai, I can die, I don't care if I'm living a stressful life." But unfortunately, you have to realize that there are 10 people living around you who observe you, who tend to live life like you. And if they suffer living life like you are only responsible for your kids suffering because of stress, because they tend to learn. As I go, I will tell you how our mind gets manipulated by people around us. Then you are responsible for them also. So that's why I say living a good quality and quantity of life and physically fit and happy life, even if you want and not want. One, because it is your responsibility. That I will tell you, if you want your heart, lung, liver, kidney to work well, they will want your mind also to work well. That is one. And when you want your kids to live a good and stress-free life, as a father or as a mother, you have also a responsibility to live a stress-free life. not be try to be professionally successful, try to be successful in one aspect of life.
Yeah. I think Dr. Gadkar will go to part 2 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Thank
now, as I told you, now the part is our minds are ill trained because we train from people who have not see. It is not an insult to people, but I am yet to see a person who is physically fit and consistently happy. Unfortunately, those people who are physically fit and consistently happy, they are not in your day-to-day family lives and all. So how an ignorant and intellect, so that's why I call our minds are ignorant. One, our mind is ignorant because most of us don't know that being physically fit and consistently stress-free is our mind's actual job. And ill-trained because we learn from people who have not lived their life well. So that's why. So now how does an ignorant and this thing? So I give an example of a baby. See, a baby when he is born, first he will want survival, ensure survival. So he will cry when he is hungry and he will want milk. That is one thing. Second thing, when he is physically uncomfortable, he will want comfort of a fan in the room. So if the temperature of the room is comfortable and he gets adequate milk, the baby is happy and he will sleep for 18, 16, 18 hours. But eventually what happens is his sleep duration goes down. So a baby who is sleeping for 18 hours will tend to sleep for 10 to 12 hours or 8 hours. And subsequently what happens? He has a lot of free time. His mind is idle and nothing to do. See, then this idle mind. And second thing, what happens to this baby is mother starts feeding the baby before he experiences hunger. Mother starts keeping him in a comfortable room before he experiences uncomfort. So what happens is, since he is not suffering hunger, since he is not suffering uncomfortable temperature, and since he is adequately fed and comfort, and over a period of time, since his sleep is less, he has a lot of free time, and idle mind of the baby gets restless, and he will desire four things generally. First is he will want to love something. Either he will want to engage in a toy and love that toy, or a mobile phone, or he will want, if the mother is available, if the mother is working, he will engage his time with the phone and start loving the phone or the mobile phone or his toy. And if the mother is available, he start loving the mother. Second thing what he will want is appreciation, admiration. So if you see a baby is criticized and all, he will start crying without knowing anything. So you don't have to teach the baby about loving something and wanting admiration and appreciation. Third thing what the baby will want, first he is satisfied with milk. But once he experiences tasty foods, he will want tangy, tasty food to eat. Fourth, once he is comfortable in the fan, but the baby experiences AC conditions, a very comfortable room in an AC, then baby will point to the mother saying that I want to sleep in that AC room. See, you have to realize that you don't have to teach this baby about loving something, wanting appreciation, wanting good food, wanting luxury. This is inbuilt in the baby by nature. Basically, the reason is nature had made us in the jungle. And if you don't chase power, love, food, luxury in the jungle, you die. So if you see an adult, I call them metaphorical toys, and toys will not be the people will not like the word toys, but I will tell you why I call them toys. But they are metaphorical toys. They are and we adults desire them for our better life. So now my love toys are my wife, my kids, my mother. They are my love toys. Don't get offended by this. I will try to explain why. My work profession is my fame toy because my cardiology gives me my appreciation and my respect, and my money toy. I will tell you what money is. Status in the society is my fame toy. Food. Some people, I am not a fan of food because I have trained myself. So I have no particular, but natural ice cream. Suppose I like a particular food. Iske bina main nahi ji sakta. That is your food toy. And luxury toy, Mercedes Benz or vacation. These are our luxury toy. And you will have your sex toys because, अरे ये मिलना चाहिए. Sex मिला नहीं तो these are your sex toys. And in today's time, humans chase money because money, if you have money now, these toys, by and large, you can buy these toys. Money is a means of fulfilling your desired toys. So that's why humans chase money, because that becomes your indirect way of fulfilling your desires. Now see, people will say, a middle class man will say, "Arey Dr. Gadkar, tum to acha amir ho karke, money is not important for you. That's why you are seeing." See, as I told you, na, don't compare a poor man. I should not compare myself with Ambani, or a poor man should not compare with me. You compare with yourself 150 years back. Whatever the life you are living, you will want this life 150 years back as compared to if you had born in your grandfather's time, you would be happy to live a middle class life today. Don't compare with Gadkar, or Gadkar should not compare with Ambani. So everybody has a good life. You want more money. If you get more money, I will tell you, money is not bad. But suffering because of all these things is bad. I tell you, as I go in the talk, you will realize, see, money only is needed for unexpected, large sum of money is needed if there is a health crisis in the family or yourself. That's why I say everybody should have a good medical insurance. If you have medical insurance, a decent medical insurance, money needed is to fulfill your desires. Otherwise, money is needed to ensure survival. As I told you, survival and health is the most important thing, and everything else is secondary. So you need money only for survival. Other things are all optional. So you want to ask any questions, or how we can go further?
There are,
Yes,
go ahead.
there are a couple of questions in the chat box, sir. I think we can take it up. Mostly they are pertaining to the first section. So Mr. D has asked, we don't know the name. So, sir, well explained. We all have evolved being animals. Since our brain has evolved differently anatomically, we now have entire portion of the brain dedicated for intellect. So the innermost being considered to act instinctively as animals, whereas the outermost is rational. So what in your opinion, sir, is the cause for mental setback in humans? Is it the structure of brain, or is it the constant conflict between amygdala and cerebral cortex?
See, basically, I'm a cardiologist. I don't understand. See, that is what I am saying. Whatever we are discussing, because I will tell you how we get manipulated. I have a very basic understanding of life. I don't have a neurological or a psychiatrist understanding of mind. See, what I'm trying to tell you, as I told, see, humans have an advanced intellect as compared to animals. Whatever I discussed, see, the only difference I was going to speak about this, that humans can have conscious control of your urges, which an animal cannot have.
Thank you, Gadkar. I think you can go to next section.
Coming to the most important part, this is, I have just given you how an untrained, ill-trained mind will live life. But now to the most important part of life is how our mind gets manipulated after birth. So once you understand this, every mind will have their own solution, and you don't need to listen to Dr. Gadkar for solution, because you have to understand this. And some people will not like, because I will be destroying somebody's existing beliefs. I call ego. Beliefs are your ego. I will be destroying somebody's ego, and people will not like me to hurt their ego. But I'm sorry about it. I apologize for that in advance. So if you see, mind is all about the thoughts you create, and your quality of life depends upon your thoughts. So now it is the most important thing to understand that as compared to other organs of the body, like your heart, lung, liver, kidney, they are like hardware. They are tuned to function. They are tuned to function means your hardware from as a hunter-gatherer. See, somebody asked me that human mind has evolved and all. See, human mind as compared to Neanderthal, whatever, primitive humans. But when we were hunter-gatherer in the African jungle, say 4,000, 5,000 years ago, your mind has not evolved much. As compared to 20,000, 30,000, whatever, millions of years ago, you have evolved. But still, when you are living in the jungle, and when you are living here, whatever, 4, 5,000, 10,000 years of civilization, mind has not evolved much. Your mind evolution is the same. Intelligent human, they created fire, they created armory to fight and all. They were all intelligent humans. So now I'm coming to how your thoughts are created. So what I was trying to tell is your hardware, heart, lung, liver, kidneys, they don't need continuous information. But your mind needs to protect the body from two things. Matlab, you have to respond to two impulses. One is your inputs from within, which I call is internal urges within the physical body, and information from outside the body. Why the mind has to respond to two things is because it has to be protecting the body and fulfill the needs of the body. Like if I'm suffering, body needs hunger, body needs food. It is a job of the mind to avoid a poisonous fruit and eat a safe fruit. So that is the job of the mind. So mind needs to respond to the inputs from within. When we were in the jungle and the outside heat was too much and the body was suffering, it was the job of the mind to find a shade. And mentally disabled mind couldn't find a shade, or it is thirsty, couldn't find water, he used to die in the jungles. So now, as I discussed, power, love, sex, food, luxury were the five internal urges. Our internal urges, whenever the internal urges manifest in the mind, it converted into your desire. So if the love urge manifest in the mind, I will say I want to love, I want love. If the power urge, power. So that's why now, depending upon which urge manifests in the mind, everybody's desire is not the same on this planet. Some people will say, I cannot live without love. Some people will say, I want fame and power. Some people will say, sex के बिना जीने का क्या मतलब है? Some people will say, अच्छा खाया नहीं तो what is the point of living your life? Some people will say, luxury नहीं है तो life का मतलब क्या? It all depends upon what urge controls your mind. You will have similarly desires. Now it is your choice of your mind to control your urge and suppress the desire, or chase the urge and chase for the desire. That is the choice of your mind. Now perceiving these urges, as I told you, in the hunter gatherer era, ensured survival, and that is why it is seen in baby too. You don't have to teach a baby to chase these urges. But unfortunately, what has happened is humans actually don't need to see. If I live my life all my 70, 80 years without chasing this, the government will feed me, provide me ration and all. I will have to do menial jobs and I can live a good life, decent life as compared to 150 years back. But unfortunately, what happens? Your ignorant mind and ill-trained mind has not been trained. So you are unfortunately controlled by these urges and you start impulsively chasing as these desires. And unfortunately, what happens? You see everybody around chasing these urges and justifying chasing these urges. That's why you feel that it is normal to chase these urges. Eventually, what happens is chasing leads to addiction. Addiction means you don't know when to stop and you suffer because of this urge. Your idle mind is called as devil's workshop if it is not under control. That's why it is called as idle mind is devil's workshop, because if it is not under control, it is like a devil's workshop. So moving ahead, so now to create our desires. So I told you the internal urges will manifest in the mind and you will have these five urges, or money urge, because money can buy all these urges. But to create our desired thoughts, we need a desire object in the outside world. And this desire object, I call it as an impact circle. So a baby wanting a toy, that toy is the impact circle. If the baby, the rattle toy, if the toy was not there, the baby would not have desired the toy. So that's why to create our and the desire, whatever you desire. Now all this audience of ours who are desiring things, whatever you are desiring, because you saw those desires in the outside world, that is the impact circle. If you had not seen those desires, and that desire would never have existed. So for that object to be there is one criteria for having desires. And second thing is your mind should buy that narrative. Now the baby saw that toy. If he had ignored that toy, he would not want that toy. He would not love that toy. Because the baby got attracted to that toy and decided that I want that toy, he bought the narrative of that toy, that object. That's why he wanted that toy. So that is similarly, our whatever are our desired toys, unless and until that object is there, one, and second, your mind falls in love, falls in that fame toy, then object your mind has to buy. That's why I say, that's why your mind is like a customer and your impact circle is like a salesperson selling that object. So your mind is a customer and life is like a 30,000 day shopping experience on this planet, and your society or the impact circle will not create a desired thought. So now our salesperson in our life are our family and relationship, general for everybody. Work profession. So I am a doctor, you are a psychiatrist, somebody is an engineer. So work profession is another impact circle. Your religion, your political ideology, your sports, are basically our impact circle. Your social media, news media are our impact circle, and your advertising industry, who sell us materialistic things, they are your impact circle. And depending upon who our impact circle, where I am born, when I am born, where I live, and where I am exposed to, we will have our desired toys. So our parents are the first salesmen. So I am born to my parents, Manjula and Govind. They are our first salesmen. So they will sell my name. Narayan was given to my this thing. I bought the narrative. Growing up, I could have wanted to change my name. I could have changed my name. Religion. You are a Hindu. They sold me this. Somebody else sold them this Hindu. Whatever, Hinduism is the oldest religion, we say 10,000, 15,000 years, but hunter-gatherer, there was no religion. So if I was born in the hunter-gatherer era, I would have no religion myself. Communication, language was made by humans. That's why I am given the name Narayan. If I was born in the hunter-gatherer era, I would not have name. We would have spoken in sign languages. So but still, intellect job was to protect. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you are keeping your body fit and your mind healthy doesn't change with where you are born and what you are born in, which era you are born. It is constant, irrespective of, and till the human being exists, your mind's job of keeping your body fit and healthy will be eternal. But all other things, your desires and beliefs will keep on changing. So unfortunately, just like a child is attached to a toy and he calls it at my toy, my rattle toy, and feels that he cannot live without it because it becomes a habit to play with that toy, and it becomes he becomes dependent on that toy. And unfortunately, just like a baby, and unfortunately, we cannot blame the baby because he is an immature mind. He has not seen the world. Unfortunately, as adults, our ill-trained mind becomes attached to our desired toys. We become addicted to them, dependent on them. And we start saying, I cannot live without my wife and my kids, my mother, my cardiology, or my fame, my money, whatever I have earned till, my car, and feels that I cannot live without it. As I told you, it is similar to a substance addict who says that, अरे दारू के बिना नहीं जी सकता, cigarette के बिना नहीं जी सकता. We fail to realize that whatever we say, my, is because it exists. So our thoughts. So now this is about desires. Now coming to beliefs. Beliefs are also an important part of your thoughts, and they also cause you suffering. Beliefs are your truths. They may not be the facts, but these are your truths, and you. So now I give an example that the earth is 200 years back, the people believed that earth is flat and everybody was convinced. Why I'm saying is, it was not a fact, but those people were convinced that earth is flat. So now coming to next is, so this is what happens with your beliefs and desires. And what happens, and second thing is, just like an example of a baby who gets one toy, plays with that toy for some days and starts chasing another toy after some days because he is satiated with that toy. बोर हो गया है खिलौने के साथ, अभी मेरे को नेक्स्ट चैलेंज चाहिए, नेक्स्ट टॉय के पीछे भागना है. एंड विद दैट चेज ही स्टार्ट सफरिंग. उसको नेबर का टॉय, एंड इफ ही डजंट गेट दैट अदर टॉय, ही स्टार्ट्स क्राइंग. सिमिलरली ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, बिकॉज योर माइंड इज आइडल, your mind is restless, your mind is ill trained, your mind is controlled by your natural urges, you start chasing one toy after the other, and you make your life miserable in the chase, just like a baby. And secondly, your ill-trained mind, based on these beliefs and desires, you start living your life, and that's why you're suffering. Nice thing happen to nice people, and something not nice happens, you question nature. अरे मेरे साथ ऐसा क्यों हुआ? I am such a nice soul, why did this happen to me? And you suffer. But if you believe that anything can happen to anybody, you will move on in life. अरे सबके साथ हुआ है, it has happened to me. Okay. So I am not saying pursuing desires or having beliefs is not the problem, but you cannot extendedly suffer or stress or death because of that. Now you will say desires and beliefs में death क्यों होता है? Desires and beliefs में death होता है because now patients come to me and I suggest something good for them, but they believe that I am good. Nothing will happen to me. Ayurveda will treat me. BP, diabetes need not be controlled. And they don't take medications and they suffer death. So beliefs can kill you. Desires can kill you. Bike, I want to ride a bike at 200 kilometers per hour. You suffer accident. So desires and beliefs is not a problem, but don't suffer, make others suffer, and don't suffer death because of your desires and beliefs. So enjoy power, love, luxury, money, but don't extendedly suffer if you don't get it or you lose it. Why compromise? So I say everybody has a good life. If your physical body is good and you have a comfortable life, AC hai, panka hai, khana hai, pani hai, 150 years back, what it was not there. Your life is good. Try to make it better. But if your life is not better, why suffer the good life? Eventually, you are going to lose also this good life. Okay? That's what I come. Next slide is your life. Life is like a 30,000 day shopping experience on this planet. 80 years, if you see, 78 years to 80 years shopping on this planet. And the day you die, shopping on this planet is over. Nature doesn't care how you live your life. Once your time is up, new batch will come. Our objective of life is what you want from life is fit and happy and stress free. So it is your choice how you want to live, because once your time will come up, nature will replace. Gadkar, tu acha zindagi jiya, nahi jiya, I don't care. Now you have to go. So that's why people are not happy to die, because when they become old and they realize what they have been chasing for 70, 80 years, everything has to be left behind and gone, and unnecessarily they have wasted their life. That enlightenment and introspection comes. I am trying to give it early. So I say, na, your life is like a shopping experience. So now I come to this thing that, and if you justify, say, Gadkar, whatever you have told, I understand, but I don't want to change, then your heart, lung, liver, kidneys will ask you one question. Gadkar ne aapko bataya. Gadkar taught you everything. Still, you don't want to change. We'll see. The organs will ask you that you are not the owner, but you are just a caretaker of the body. If you are believe in the law of karma, if you want us to work well, you want your heart, lung, liver, kidney to work well. Why can't you work well as a mind? And if you exploit us, the organs, and you are happy, why do you ask a politician who exploits you, a judiciary or a police who exploits you, with statements like, with power comes responsibility? What about your power? When you are powerful and you exploit us, when they exploit you, why do you feel bad? So as I told you, mind has two options. A disabled mind, a mentally disabled mind will not be able to change because he doesn't have the intellect. But we, as a conscious mind, an intellectual mind, if we don't change ourselves, which is a bigger disability? Not having intellect and not changing, or having an intellect and not changing? So mental transformation, now coming to mental transformation is, if you want physical and financial independence, why do you have to be mentally dependent on others? And if why do you have to be mentally dependent on others? And a life intelligent mind has self-respect. He doesn't want the next generation to suffer, and he will want mental independence. So he will not want to be a caged mind. He will want freedom. So now that's what I say. You have cluttered desires and you have already stored your beliefs and desires. If you have a cluttered house, will you not remove things which makes you trouble and clean the house? Similarly, if you have a cluttered mind, why can't you remove your desires and beliefs which cause you trouble? And if I say storing these desires and beliefs would cost you money, would you have suffered to pay? Just because it is free, why do you suffer? Your quality of life is compromised. So now you have to realize, giving up your desires and beliefs is not a physical task like running a marathon or climbing a mountain. It is just detachment, dissociation. And it should be possible for everyone. If it would have been a physical task, I would have told you it is difficult, but it is a mental task, which will be easy for everyone. So now, how to deal with manipulation? A conscious customer, whosoever are conscious customer, who are responsible, who are willing to change, will start changing from tomorrow. Who have destructive ego will find it difficult to change. So changing, see, you need control from two sides. One is your internal urge. People who are responsible will have control over they will not find it difficult. But people, see, as I told you, when a coach teaches a batsman, intelligent batsman will imbibe and start implementing. Who are poor in cricket will take time, but you can Go to spirituality, meditation, read books related to mindfulness, or live association with similar people. I'm not going through everything because YouTube, these things will be there and people can go through YouTube for all these things. See, one important thing is prevention is better than cure. I feel that like we have chapters in about mind, about heart, lung, liver, kidney. If we have textbook chapters on mind, life intelligence, and manipulations, you are at a young age, if your child understands this, he will not be manipulated and he will not suffer in life. So now I would want, this is an important part, to understand that society and impact circle, how they manipulate us. See, what I have realized in life, that everybody around unknowingly is selfish. See, if your somebody would have been selfless, they would have told you what, Are Gadkar, tu fit re, khush re, I don't want anything from you. See, a selfless shopkeeper will tell you, you buy from whichever shop makes you happy and good. You don't need to buy everything from my shop. And see, once a conscious customer realizes that everybody unknowingly is selfish, he doesn't buy their narratives. So somebody says, Gadkar, you are great, I love you. He knows that inherently I make their life better. That's why I am buying. So he doesn't create an image. See, 90% of the time we suffer because we buy people's narrative and we create an image that I am a loud father, I am a great cardiologist. And in order to maintain that image, we suffer. Most important thing is conscious customer has gratitude. Gratitude means, see, I give an example. Suppose I meet with an accident and everybody around me dies. So I will thank God saying that mera jaan bach gaya. Suppose if I meet with an accident and everybody survives, I will say, why did I go? So for that same thing, I can say thank you God, and I can suffer depending upon what is happening around me. So our jealousy also is when we compare ourselves with people superior to us, we become jealous. A conscious customer knows from where to buy. So, and if, see, coming to that, and a conscious customer doesn't get manipulated and he lives a fit and happy life. And this cannot be done overnight. But at least you can try to be your better version. And if you really want good for your kids, I say, if you really care for your kids, you will never trap them in love urge and all and make them addicted to you so that after you, they will suffer in your absence. And all these religious, caste, language fights, your society fights can go, and your lifestyle diseases like hypertension, heart attack, diabetes can be controlled, and you will not suffer and you will not make your family suffer, and this will be your life. That a conscious customer's life is less of stress and more of contentment and all. He deals with like life a water in a container. When there is skirmish in his life, like there is disturbance in the water, and sometimes later he settles because he accepts life as it is. He says that nature can do whatever to me. I accept what nature does to me. See, our mind has three responsibilities, as I told you: batting, bowling, and fielding. Unless and until you invest time, you will not be good. So batting, as I told you, is your acquired responsibilities, which you deal with, you are trained for. Unless and until you invest time in your physical health and mental health, how much ever I may speak, but unless and until you invest time, you will not be better in that. But I have faith in human beings. Because mankind, any new idea, there will be resistance. But ultimately, I feel that human beings now, whatever is good for them, they accept and they change. And whatever is good for the next generation, they will not want their kids to suffer and they will change for their kids. Humans have controlled their sexual urge. We need to control our other four urges. And that is what the difference between animals and humans. That animals have no control, we can control. And last is, if people who are our role models like parents, teacher, religious preacher, corporate CEOs, film and sports celebrities, politicians will implement this, if our textbook has it, we can transform surely the next generation. And thank you for your patience and listening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the insightful talk. We have a couple of questions from the YouTube live. So the first one by Mr. Damodar, it's more of a comment. So Damodar ji has told that it's a very nice thinking and delivery by you, sir. So thank you. So thank you, sir. It was a very insightful and enlightening session. So just to summarize, we understood that the mind is meant to help us lead a healthy and stress-free life. And we also saw how untrained mind can become attached to temporary desires and external influences, also leading to unnecessary suffering. And also how we can bring clarity to our thoughts and live more consciously, which also includes understanding what truly matters and letting go of what does not. So we also learned about practical ways like meditation, gratitude, and conscious choices to help us manage these challenges and maintain our mental balance. Finally, we also saw how to resist external manipulation and pressures from society so that we can maintain independence in your thoughts and reduce stress. As a mental health professional and psychiatrist, these ideas reminds us that our well-being and that of those we serve also depends on a clear and focused mind. So thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. N. Manjunatha, Additional Professor of Psychiatry, Department of Psychiatry in NIMHANS, to give concluding remarks and vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, Praveen. Thanks to Dr. Gadkar for us to take into a hunter-gatherer era to now, and how we can make our future better. So until unless we know the history, we will do the same mistake which till our ancestors had done and present what we are doing. So considering that, and another thing is that we started thinking, even though we are a psychiatrist, we have a lot of things of psychiatric disorder, even though what Gadkar might, he has not given any answer to psychiatry per se, but he has given an answer to mental health in a broad spectrum. And what we are seeing these days, the mental health we have divided into three categories. So it's a trichotomy of mental health, where we call in one spectrum illness, which is a psychiatry, another spectrum called a wellness, which everybody desires. And there are a middle path, which is called as a mental distress. Probably, I would feel that Dr. Gadkar has a lot of answer for the mental distress part of the human being, not per se the say illness or a kind of the wellness. Thank you very much, Dr. Gadkar. Thank you.